Started. Hello, everyone. Good evening to the folks who are in the US, and good morning to the folks who are joining from India. I know it's pretty early in India, so thank you for joining in. Let's wait a couple of minutes for everyone to join in. I'm trying to figure out a couple of timings, whichever works for the audience, either Sunday evenings or Saturday evenings or some other time. So if you have any suggestion, whatever works for you, please DM me after this. So trying to do some market research on this. It'll be helpful. Okay, let's start. Hello, everyone again. And today I am doing an live session with one of my friends from my undergrad. And I think this is one of the few, I think this is the first time I'm doing a live without any proper, having any proper script or questions in my mind because I know the answers to almost everything. So I'm playing a role where I don't know the answers of their product or about his journey or their company's journey. So if you have any other questions which probably I might miss during the live, please post in the comments and I'll take it up in the live. And yeah, let's welcome Harshit to the live. Hello,
Hi,
Harshit.
hi.
Good morning.
Hello. Good
How's it
morning, morning.
going? How's it going?
Yeah, it's going good.
Nice.
It's been some crazy times.
Hopefully, it's a positive crazy.
Yeah, last few weeks at least is positive, but yeah, it's a long journey of 2 years. So ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs.
I mean, startup. I don't expect anything less from crazy happening, and that's great. I guess in the long run, you have some stories to tell. Uh, I mean, I know that you already have a couple of stories to tell, but hopefully, more crazier stories are being in the backlog or being in the production right now. But thanks for
Yeah,
joining in. I know that it's pretty early for you in India, and thanks for joining in at this time. So hopefully you have something out of this, and we get something out of this, and the audience will get something out of this.
yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So yeah, let's start with your entrepreneur journey. So I know that we've back from our undergrad, we used to talk about you wanting to become an entrepreneur or wanting to build a product, and we've had these discussions. But I never know the starting point of this mindset because most of the friends I come across, or most of my colleagues, or anyone that I know of, at least in undergrad we think about getting a job, we think about how to secure a 10 lakhs package or 20 lakhs package or how to get into an MNC. But I don't think I've ever seen you in that phase. So how did you become this person who wants to get into startups from the very beginning, or is this my assumption, or did you have any other story?
No, I think most of the thing is right, and I don't think it's any different. I mean, everyone wants a good package. All of that is more of a choice of which
Oh, yeah.
direction you would want to go, and end of the day, it's probably the same. We don't do startups because it's a non-profit serving people. So end of the day, it's all about making some good money. And
Mhm.
but I think there is definitely a the crux is not money, at least when even right now. I think the difference of at least what I understood when I first started the company, it
Mhm.
was a uh, fluke, I would say, when I first started.
Okay.
It's not that I actually was so focused on making a company big and stuff. So that was not the idea. The idea, at least when I started, was it was more in the learning side. Like, do I
Mm-hmm.
get a space where I can experiment a lot of things? So at
Mm-hmm.
least at that time, the experiments were little childish, but using multiple packages. Can I use different kind of language to make a server? What kind
Mm-hmm.
of tech can I actually make? I was more
Typical
fascinated
engineer.
into, yeah, more fascinated into actually building things up. How can I
Mm-hmm.
build? What can I use? And I think that's how it all started. But yeah, I think, looking back at it, that was probably a byproduct. I mean, it's something every startup founder is going to get, where they have a playground they can play at.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the journey in itself was not something which I had to choose. So it was always fun being part of that journey. So every moment I think I did enjoy. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the first startup was the current Dunzo and the current
Oh
Swiggy
yeah.
Instamart. I
Yeah.
think that's where it started. But at that time, there was not much of a market for
Mm.
these, and it needed a lot of influx of money to basically
Mm.
kickstart. And then yeah, we moved into ticketing platform,
When did you
which is
start
also
this? Like when did this start? The Dunzo, current Dunzo, but
it
your version.
started in 2016,
So you were in
when
your
I first to movement of first to second year. I think it's yeah,
okay.
first year,
Mm.
second semester, I believe. Yeah,
Okay. So you started building a product right after entering into college, and that was Shastra.
yeah. And that website is still funny. It looks all blue,
Oh.
and yellow color car which is going from left to right, which is basically transporting the groceries. I mean,
Oh.
I think the current website and the current product are inward complete different from what that time was. It was all colorish. It's I find it funny though, but yeah, I
That's
think it's
it's
still left
okay.
there.
Yeah, I mean it's okay because you're still in your first year, and I don't think we got to know how to build a website until the last year of my CSC. So building a website itself is good, and creating your own product is good. And I also remember one of your stories where you are doing the market research by yourself. You're going to all these stores and markets and talking to them if that's a pain point that they want to solve it or not.
Yeah, I think it was difficult. um, I think it's still the same thing which we do. Most
Mhm.
of the most of the engineers have the difficulty in kind of getting sales. I still have the difficulty, so it's
Mhm.
definitely not easy as sitting and coding things up. I think taking things to the
Yeah.
market is quite difficult. So in GoLazy specifically, yeah, the name of the product is Go Lazy, because the idea
Oh,
is you are going lazy with it.
yeah.
And yeah, we did go to a bunch of stores at that time. Like, we went to
Mm.
DMart, we went to More,
Mm.
asking, can they be the
Pilot
the
customers.
go downs, the
Mm.
go downs basically from where we can
Oh.
pick the items. So we had an app. The app was, someone can order. We
Mm-hmm.
take the location of the user
Mm-hmm.
who is ordering, and then we also take the location of these More, DMarts, all
Mm-hmm.
those things. So we basically made an algorithm where the moment order comes, we split the order to the close by location, which is what right now, like Swiggy, Instamart, and all of these do also. The difference is they have this background stores, or dark stores we
Mm.
call.
Mm.
At that time, it was not there, so we thought, "Well, let's partner."
Mm.
Uh, Funny story, no one did let me even in talk to the manager.
You're a
What
first
helped
year
out,
engineering student, so I don't
yeah,
expect any.
and I mean, Sastra is also not, it is good college, but yeah, it's not a popular college. So
In terms
it
of
was quite difficult.
entrepreneurship, the job side
Yeah,
of is
yeah.
good, but yeah, I understand.
So it it didn't help. It didn't help. We went to like six, seven stores.
Mm.
I I had a friend, Manikanta. So he's from IIT Madras. So
Mm.
that guy was basically helping me out, and we
Mm.
both were on bike roaming multiple stores. One fine store. He's a shy guy, so he's not shy, but he doesn't speak about these that 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 fluently and comfortably. So he was sitting back. I was going, talking, and coming back. Not
Mhm.
talking, going and then coming back because they're not letting me in.
Talk. Yeah.
Yeah. So one fine D Mart. I think
Mhm.
we said, let's change roles. I'll drive the bike. You go speed. Let's see what happens.
Uh-huh.
Because he had this IIT Madras card, and
Yeah, yeah,
trust me,
yeah.
the next DMart we went, he used his identity
IIT
card of
card.
IIT Madras,
Uh-huh.
and we landed at the manager, like straight to the manager, and he was ready to speak
The
with
brand
us.
matters. Okay.
Yeah, so though it was funny, I think looking back, it was funny. At that time, it was kind of also very sad and irritating. But yeah, though we got to the manager, so it was all good.
You've got your
Uh,
first experience with the startup, and that too it's pretty early in your career. I don't think it's even a career at that point, but yeah,
and
that's good. So how did you move on? Because I when I talk to co-founders or startup owners, the thing that I realize, especially who are in the initial stage, I realize that it's hard for people to move on from their idea, because often co-founders or the startup owners, they'll fall in love with the product they're building, and they'll take time to move on from one product to the next. I mean, they don't find the right time to pivot. So how did you move on from that product to the second one that you built out?
I mean, at that time, I think it's not as difficult as it is right now. I think
Mm.
I feel the problem which you said we have faced in our recent times after YC than at that time. At
Mm.
that time, I think I had probably a or better mindset, let's say, because I didn't feel that I fell in love with the website than the product at that time. I think, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
So probably, yeah,
so
when we come to the YC story, maybe you can answer this
yeah.
question later. Makes sense. So you've built couple of products before even getting into this YC journey. So how many products did you actually build before the YC application?
I mean, if I look at my repo, there would definitely be at least a lot, but concretely, in terms of a startup, I think
Mhm.
there were three, and I think five is what I think we built.
Okay, so you've built five products before the YC journey. So what made the sixth one for you to go to YC, and you like, okay, let me start with the YC? Or did you even apply for the YC for the before products too?
I think that is probably the easiest answer I have. That is just
Okay.
applying to IC. That
Okay.
is the only difference, I think. Look, I think the notion of YC people have is completely different, and I see that very often. I
Mm-hmm.
think what is needed for people to get into YC is applying to YC. I think that's the first inertia. That's also very small inertia. It's a 30 minutes job of making a doc. We did
Uh-huh.
get rejected though. I think we
Okay.
got rejected once, but
Okay.
that was also again a step towards like you getting into YC, right? So it was rejection. I think this cut short story in short is I left my job, so I
Mm-hmm.
was decided that I'm going to do a startup. So it's like let's fully focus on it, and we thought, okay, I'll ask my co-founders to quit job once we have a certain clarity. At least I jumped into the boat and I thought, let's wait. Everyone jumping into the boat is going to be a scary money nightmare issue.
Probably because I know your journey, I understand this, but for the audience sake, can you give me a timeline of what are the companies that you worked for or the startups you worked for before YC? Like from your B Tech, then what did you do? Then what did you do? Then how did you end up YC?
Yeah, I think 16 is when we started.
Mhm.
the Go Lazy.
Mm-hmm.
We Short story, I think it did work out for some time for us
Mm-hmm.
in Tanjavur and Trichy. There were a couple of orders we have delivered. We got
Mm-hmm.
a reasonable first salary, I think, for ourselves, which was about a lakh per month or so. So
Wow.
it did
Okay.
work out at that time. I think the problem was the scale. The
Uh-huh.
moment it worked out, we had more than a few orders, and majority of the orders were coming from Sastra,
Uh,
asking for fruits, asking for so and so other things from Tanjavur and Trichy. So
hmm.
yeah, we couldn't scale that up. It was also very day consuming. I can't go out of hostel. Sastra's hostel is very difficult to
Yeah.
go out. So we had two people whom we knew, I think, through one of our friend, and they were basically helping us out in terms of delivery.
Okay.
And later, I think we gave our product and also the people whom we know to one other company who also wanted to do the same thing. Also, Sastra folks in itself, like our senior at that
Mm-hmm.
time. So we thought it's best let them take care of it. They are more native. They know a lot of folks in Tanjavur,
Mm-hmm.
so it's probably gonna work out for them better. So that's the end of, I think, Go Lazy.
Mm-hmm.
I took a break for about, I think, not a break as like
Yeah.
I wanted to take,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think
You're still
I didn't do
studying. It's
anything.
not a break.
Yeah. I didn't do anything for like some time. I
Uh-huh.
was more focused on, I think, getting to right clubs in college and stuff. So a little
Okay.
bit of the fun engineering part.
Uh-huh.
Um, I I started Event Buffer. That's
Mm.
basically again, it's a it's an evergreen idea. I feel like it's something even up to this date I love. That is, colleges do have these events every single year coming and going,
Mm-hmm.
but we yet haven't found. Right now, there are good companies, so haven't found that one product where these college folks can host their events so that it reaches majority of the folks, like other adjacent colleges who can come for big events. Even people come from different states.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the idea is to provide a single platform where you can host all the events and people
Mm-hmm.
can buy tickets from there.
Something like
So it
even
was,
bright, but for
yeah,
college.
even Ripe in US is, yeah, much I think it was a lot more stabilized and matured at that time.
Mm.
But yeah, I think I got to know that later, so that one was not part when I actually started it. So yeah,
Okay. Okay. That's good. That's good. So, how many years did you work on that?
that was long. We started Event Buffer in 2017,
17. Mm.
and it went through multiple journeys. We merged Event Buffer with Event Beep. It's a Pune-based company. So at that time, we were really good at engineering.
Mm.
Good really is a hard word. We were good at engineering, so making
Mm.
product was something which was all of our team. Even Buffer at that time was
Mm-hmm.
something we really loved. Even Beep on the other side is a Pune based company. They're good
Mm.
at marketing. Their product at least was not that good as ours. So the
Mm.
idea was to basically club these both and convert to a single company where we have now the leverage of both engineering and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah, I think a kid child call, merger, startup,
Mm-hmm.
too many things to handle. But at that time, it was, I think, more of go with the flow than
Yeah.
looking at it as a big merger. And
Yeah.
neither we were big at that time. So yeah, I think it was a just a smart move of pulling the all talent together so that we can do it. So it went till my end of college almost, like
2019.
yeah, 2019. We did try a lot with it. We
Mm-hmm.
had, I think, at its peak, it was decently good. We had about 700 colleges signed up.
Mm.
We had like good amount of money which is flowing in and flowing out. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's more majorly based on the the number of tickets which happened, right? Like our,
Mm.
if you look at the percentage we take, it might not be like so much, but the part of how much money is flowing through our bank, because when someone pays, it
Mm-hmm.
first lands in our bank and then goes
You have
into
to
the,
pay.
yeah, the college folks side. So
Mm.
definitely a lot of cash moving.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the percentage is something which we couldn't figure out much, like
Okay.
how we could get to a state where we call it's a decent
Profitable.
revenue company, yeah,
Mm.
profitable. So that was difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
But
then yeah.
but having 700 universities signed up is a great, like at least when you're in the initial phase of the startup, I believe it's great. So what
Yeah.
made you come out of it? I believe you came out of it. So what's the reason behind that?
I mean, the end call was majorly on our differences on. There were two co-founders. I think, as I come from Even Buffer, I
Mm-hmm.
have one other co-founder who's from Even Beef.
Mm-hmm.
So it was majorly differences on the vision of how they looked at it and how I looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, not calling in what those differences are, but it's purely how that business wants to scale and what
Mm-hmm.
places to focus on. I
Mm-hmm.
think those didn't stick with me at that time. Uh, yeah, I think that was the reason why I basically moved out. Even BP is still there. It's quite growing
Yeah, I believe they got
in
into
the Indian
Shark
space.
Tank, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, they are correct.
Yeah, that's a good story. Okay, so okay, then from Go Lazy you came to Even Beep or Even Buffer. Then what's next?
Oh yeah, I think I felt sad because I lost two startups. It was then I think I thought I'll stick with something which at least gives me good learning, and
Mm-hmm.
I was going to go to US at that time. I think that was the idea. By the end of the college, I wanted to get out of this.
For masters, or what's the purpose?
No, just job, finding a company.
You
But
got
yeah,
a
I think
job,
it didn't.
or how will you
Yeah,
go to
yeah,
US
yeah.
without getting? Okay.
I had a job, so after the thinking of even beef, I think I was very focused on just applying to a bunch of companies, and I okay in between there were, though I was doing startups, there were decent internships I've done in companies which are
So you
now
didn't
big.
miss anything. Like you've done internships, you've done the startups, you're even applying for jobs. So
I didn't apply for jobs during the college.
uh
Neither I was in the thought of applying
for a
during
job.
that placements time or in the last semester. The
Yeah.
internships were purely because I loved their products. Like
Mhm.
I did
Where did you
intern at
intern?
Asura.
Okay.
Asura, it's a pretty massive company right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I really loved their first exploration of GraphQL. They were the first company to,
Oh.
again, everything is going to be more techy. I mean,
Okay. Okay. Let's
I
let's
did,
keep it non-techy for now.
yeah.
Ah.
So that's yeah, did a bunch of internships. So I had PPOs prior
Okay.
to
You're
fourth year in itself. So I think, but yeah, I wanted to look for. I never liked going back to the company I worked because it felt that I knew too much. It is not the case. Like it's, I
you're
mean,
a
too
kid
much not
back
about
then,
the
so it's
product.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Too much not about the product. It's just like, do I want to go back? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's the
So
thing.
you were thinking of going to US after getting a job. What was the job about? Like how did you get a job in the US?
Uh, yeah, partly I was also doing freelancing in between, so that I could keep my startup running
You didn't
because
leave
I
anything.
I
uh,
mean, we have like so many hours at college, so it's not like the classes were that interesting, so you
yeah.
have to do
Yeah.
something.
Because of this person,
Um,
we all felt that we were doing nothing. But thanks for also
I
doing.
know, I don't think anyone knows that, not a lot of folks know what actually is happening in the
Yeah,
background.
yeah.
Like, yeah,
Actually, yes.
it is, the money crux was actually difficult. I can't ask my father, I'm going to Pune, and majority of the time, I think these travels were quite tricky. I would know that I have to go to Pune like 2 days before.
Hmm.
So first time I felt the feeling which happens in the movies, right? Like, why do I have to take a flight? I mean, I have to take a flight right now because there is no other alternative. I have to go fast.
Okay.
And going from Tanjore to Pune is quite lengthy.
Yeah.
It's not like I mean, at that time cars were also
Yeah.
not something I could drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think flights going here and there, moving, frequent meetings with the events which are happening. I need to sometimes also went to IIT Delhi because we also hosted a couple of their events. So it is expensive initially, I would say. So I had to cover not just my expenses, but I also have, I mean, end of the day, people who are part of the startup are also my friends. So it's not like they are also doing jobs. So as an early founder, I had to cover expenses for more than a few people. So
You
it
took the
is,
responsibility for that.
yeah.
That's
And
good.
thankfully, I also have friends who were equally responsible. Like, to name, there are Rohit, Venki, Monisha. I mean, all of the folks were equally responsible at that time.
Mm.
So it was not a burden, but yeah, I think none of the calls there were, either hard. Everything was fun. Like, do it because we are learning something. Do
Yeah.
it. All of us, I was surprised, all of us agreed to move to Pune for a couple of months. Like,
Yeah.
me moving is a different story now. My friends, they are also so deep into the company. They wanted to grow. They want to help.
Mm.
That felt like, yeah, nice. It's
Good.
good.
That's good. So, yeah, coming back to the US journey, at least not
Ah,
journey,
yeah.
but
So,
yeah.
freelancing. So as I was doing a freelancing,
Mm-hmm.
I did help out three people specifically. I knew that these folks were in US, so I was helping
Mm-hmm.
out with them in the projects.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I reached out to them in terms of, I'm looking for a job. I want to move there. Do you
Mm-hmm.
have some suggestions? And yeah, I think I at least was quite thankful that two of the folks got back to me with a few of those job opportunities where they can basically give me, what do we call that,
Referral or
introduction or referral. Yeah, right,
yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
yeah, and out of those opportunities, there is HackerRank,
Okay.
and it was job post.
Mm-hmm.
It was not meant to be, and it was for internship.
Okay.
But this is company comes in your journey of 4 years so many times that you're so
Yeah.
messed up with this company because
Yeah.
every single person is basically doing coding over this platform, looking at their rankings,
Yeah.
bunch of questions.
Yeah.
That caught my eye. Like, now I
Okay.
forgot whether I would want to go US or not, but since there is a opportunity, as like everyone is coding in it, I want to code in
Mm-hmm.
that company,
Okay.
like at least be an
Mm.
internship, because I am very, very bad at competitive coding. Like, it's probably more than bad, and I know I'm bad. It's more of that inertia of, everyone is doing that. It's that kind of crazy
You
competition
don't
is
get to
not
say
something.
that, but yeah, continue. Yeah.
No, no,
See.
I thankfully never. I did code twice or thrice, but not never coded on HackerRank. It's just yeah. So that was, I think, the idea. So I did apply for HackerRank internship,
Mm-hmm.
and I went on a trip after a few days, like after the thing. I went on a small trip to somewhere, and it was a ghat road, and I was coming down, like it's coming back from the trip, I guess. And I get a call from the HR of HackerRank saying, "Oh, but prior to this, I had an interview call from the CTO, and surprisingly, HackerRank is really good. Like, the CTO interviews every single person who's coming in. I
Okay.
mean, I always look things from two perspectives, being a founder and then being a tech guy. Even at that time, I was very fascinated. Big company, why CTO getting into their calls, but it was very interesting. I think we had decent call. I wouldn't say I was good, but I did touch upon a bunch of technical stuff at that time already. So I was okay. So I was able to speak at least.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I think I got a call from HR saying, you got selected for HackerRank and
Mm-hmm.
we have an internship for you. What
Mm-hmm.
do you say? I'm like, all good. I'm excited. Um, but yeah, I think that's what I told to her. But I was almost in the air at that time because it is a big thing at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
Because everyone is coding in it. I mean, I got an internship now. Do I have to say I coded in HackerRank and got an internship? Surprisingly, HackerRank didn't ask me to code. They were more focused on my projects, more
Okay,
focused on what I did.
okay,
But I didn't do competitive coding.
okay.
Uh,
So
yeah.
two startups, hacker rank internship, and then what?
I went full time on HackerRank for some time. I really
Okay,
loved HackerRank. Like, HackerRank is insane space. It is competitive. Smart people from a lot of places, and
mm-hmm.
I got an opportunity to work in. It is a very flexible space to work. Like
Okay,
you pick things. I had great mentors.
okay,
Hari CTO himself always looked in. He always helped me looking from the founder's lens, like
okay.
and small things, big things. It used to be a very, very, very great journey. I think I was blessed probably just going to Hakone, making a good friends there,
Mm-hmm.
and also learning a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think after year and a half, I felt I have.
You
It
got
felt like
bored.
it's a yeah, it's not bored. It's a decently big company,
Mm-hmm.
and I touched upon pretty much all the teams. Like there are three teams working. I worked with all the three teams. So it's kind of I have the knowledge of the whole company,
You
what kind
wanted
of
to
reports they
scale.
have and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, I was looking more for the difficult parts at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think HackerRank did support in terms of, um, I think that was very surprising. So I wanted to start a startup at that time, like just get
Mm-hmm.
out and then go back to my olden things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I was very happy they came out. They said, take a long leave in a year,
Mm-hmm.
go do your company, and then you can come back. If
Mm-hmm.
it's okay, great, all good. So it was more of a signing thing, but I think I didn't. It felt like I'm taking too much from them. Like I was taking salary. I learned a lot. Then I
Mm.
also would be signing on this would be quite a. I didn't feel it right, so I said if it really happens to be coming back, this is probably my second home. I will definitely come back,
Mm.
and I'll come back in the right way. I think this is not probably the way. So I
Mm.
exited that, and then I went on working for Velocity.
Mm.
It's a company which is founded by an ex-hacker rank
Okay,
and his friends.
okay.
And my mentor at that time, Rahul. There are two a lot of great people are there in HackerRank. Two people stand out really well for me are Akansha and Rahul.
Mm-hmm.
1% trained me in backend, 1% trained me in front end.
Front end. Okay.
Yeah, and Akansha is a pretty good story. I think if this goes viral at one point, I think Akansha's reviews, PR reviews, she's so strict in the
Okay.
kind of code we want to write. It's
Mm-hmm.
very good. Like I'm in a good sense. Like you get to learn a lot. So my CTO's Hari's PR had about, I think, 30, 40 PR comments.
Okay.
So she never leaves, be it a CTO, be it a co-founder of the company, her process of reviewing is always the same. So it was funny at that time. But yeah, Rahul basically also moved to this velocity. So
Okay.
my mentor moving there felt like okay, something is interesting there up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I asked Rahul, just checking out what the company is about. Like it's a startup, no one was there. It's
Mm.
just building up people. Rahul is the first person who went in, and yeah, Rahul said it's going to be about finance, and I learned a little bit of what that company does.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had a call with the CTO, and yeah, absolutely. I think the HackerRank was established, right? So this is not established, but they had good funding at that time. But
Mm-hmm.
still, it was a pay cut. So I think the worry was about pay cut. But yeah, I was more focused on learning, so didn't take that too much to the heart. I'm like, okay, if I get to learn a lot, pay cut is fine. So
Okay.
I went into Velocity as a second employee. So it's a revenue based financing
Were you a
company.
founding engineer or something, or you're?
Yeah, yeah. Second person is what, like, more or less. Yeah, founding
Yeah.
engineer. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it was again, most of my decisions. If you look at it, it feels like they are right there asking whether do you want to pick it or not. So I feel it in that fashion. None of it was so planned long before. It was like at
Mhm.
that time, what is the
It
best I
just
could do?
happened. Yeah, go with the
Yeah,
flow.
it just
I mean,
happened.
it's also because you're open to opportunities, right? Because everyone has options before them or opportunities before them, but when we are not looking for them, we don't find them. So you were
Yeah, I
looking for them,
mean,
so you did
mm,
find them. So it again
yeah,
changes.
I,
So,
I, I feel
startups,
thankful for it.
Hacker Rank, Velocity, and how many years did you work for Velocity before jumping into this your own startup?
2020. I worked for again year and a half, I guess. Yeah,
Okay, and
yeah.
then
So
how?
same time.
Same story. How did this start? Like coming to your product, how did this YC journey start?
Oh yeah, this time I think it was same as end of HackerRank. Like I built pretty much all the products from scratch.
Uh-huh.
I know what's happening in and around, and it was like, okay, now at least I need to start my company. It's high time. I don't want to go for another job.
Mm.
And I had my co-founders from Velocity, so we all worked together in a single product,
Okay.
and we scaled it from 0 to 1,200 customers at that time. It was not that difficult because sales something that some other person was doing, but yeah, I think the
Yeah, I
tech
get
part is
that.
what we were looking at, and it was good. So we had
Okay.
great good relation, so we
So,
thought all of us, let's start something together.
okay. All of us by you mean Manik and Manoj are from Velocity and
Correct.
that's how you started. Okay,
Yes.
that's good.
Yeah.
So three
So
of the folks from Velocity came out and started a product. And what's the product about and how did you end up getting into YC?
yeah, it was not that easy. As I said, at that time it was more
Mhm.
of, the first thing is, we left in sequence. It's not all we left together. It's a
Okay.
Our CTO doesn't know that we are all working together at that time. It was also a little
Okay.
hard for us to tell the three people are leaving.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, so yeah, I think I left first, and
Mhm.
then Manik left, and then Manoj left. That's the sequence which we
Okay.
followed.
Okay.
The product at that time was providing insights as a platform.
Mm-hmm.
I think for companies which are working in more of D2C space,
Mm-hmm.
where they have their own company and they have things moving in Shopify, Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
their ads in Flipkart, all of these things. So it was basically making a product where it can pull all of this data to
Mm-hmm.
one place, and that is what we were doing at Velocity Insights. It's a similar product, but I think we wanted to focus more on scaling that up into non D2C folks.
Okay.
Velocity was more focused on D2C folks, and they would only give that product if you have taken a revenue loan from Velocity, let's call it in that fashion. So it's a
Okay.
revenue based financing, right? Once you take finance is when only that product was available. But we want to make it more individual thing.
Okay.
And
So
since
you
we
applied
built,
to YC with that product.
no.
Okay.
We were a little hesitant to apply at that time. We want
Okay.
to find the right product and stuff. And then we pivoted into another idea. That got pivoted into another idea. And that with
Okay.
that idea, we applied to
Started.
YC.
Okay.
After an year of start, I
Mm.
think it was quite low. It's been a year. You're not moving anywhere. What do we
Mm.
do? How
Mm.
do we get moving? So in that thought process, we thought, how about we take some accelerator? So we were looking at bunch of accelerators,
Mm.
and YC we applied. We didn't expect we would go there. It was quite a thing, and we got rejected at that time.
Mm.
And we
So
applied again.
coming back from your point of view, like for the from the rejection to accepting. So if you want to give suggestion for someone who are applying right now for YC, so what do you suggest? Like, what from your perspective or point of view, what are some of the key factors that people can get into YC?
Hmm. I mean, I think I wouldn't make it too complicated. I would say first apply to IC. Don't think a lot on, YC is a very, very thoughtful institute. Like they don't really take you just because you have a great idea, or they don't really take you because they are very first principle thinking. The
Mm-hmm.
way they at least, not the way they at least, when we went there for the YC also, the
Mm-hmm.
thought process which they instill in us is all first principle thinking. It's more of how you can be as grounded as possible and think about the right metrics, right direction. And YC's
Mm.
whole motive is just to be alive, because building a company is not like 2 3 months
Yeah.
of job. It's
Yeah.
gonna take a while. So that's how at least they taught us. At least our partner
Mm-hmm.
Dalton is very much focused on our psych than our metrics. At that time, it is very important. At least we
Mm.
didn't understand. Looking back, if it was not that, I think survival would be quite difficult. So
Mm.
getting back to the question, I think apply first is, I would say, the key to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then what any company would need to focus irrespective is the diff between what you have learned yesterday to today, what you have
Mm-hmm.
learned last week to this week, last month to
Mm-hmm.
this month. And then if you look back a couple of months, what you have learned, as
Mm-hmm.
long as we are like first principle thinking about just this, what you're learning, what is that diff, what's making sense, what's not making sense, and moving forward, that I think as long as we focus there, we are growing. And YC
So,
needs you to grow.
okay. So when we get an interview from YC, uh, we can show that we've grown like from day one to day two. What's the difference, or how did we grow? So that makes a difference in terms of their point of
I
view. Or
see. Yeah, yeah.
okay,
They do really care about that. Like once, I
okay,
think even for us, um, s- I partly remember. I think we were on different idea, and by the time we got the interview call, we moved to a different idea, I believe.
mm,
And I mean, the whole questions would be more about why we pivoted, what's the
mm,
reasons, what is the current new one. So they care a lot about our learnings
your
and
thought process.
uh,
Mm.
yeah, that more than anything. So as I said, as long as you're maintaining the depth, you're learning
Mm-hmm.
something, you're not stuck somewhere. I
Mm-hmm.
think you are in a good position to apply and do apply.
Mm-hmm.
That is, yeah, that's what I think was more important at that time.
Mm-hmm.
um,
So
yeah, you can keep
apply
pivoting, I
first.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
apply first, and then keep growing, learn on a daily basis or a weekly basis, and keep growing, and then pivot at the right time, or probably the key takeaways from this.
yeah, I think pivot is something which can is a sword, like it's an edge of a sword. It can go good, it can go bad. So you
Mm,
have to be, it's more of a gut feeling and what's going on at that time, what things you have learned. But I think you have to be more cautious about the whole, what the reason you are doing is, you have to be more cautious about what reason you actually started the company. It's not about the idea.
the
If it's
vision.
great,
Mm,
yeah, if it's great, if it works. But if it's not, you have to be quick understanding why it's not, what's good, can make it
mm,
better, do it. If not, then you're taking the hard call. I
mhm.
think, yeah, those also become very important.
Okay. Okay. Got it. We are in the last 15 minutes of this meeting, so I want to pivot from this discussion to the soul story, or do you want to call it hey soul? It's up to you. I want to hear from you. What's this product about? What pain point is it solving, and who are your target customers, and everything that you want to share about your product.
Right. Thanks a lot. Soul is basically a representation of a day in Mars. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how it started. So a
Oh,
day in Mars is called Soul. If you have
soul.
seen the Martian movie, Soul 1, Soul 2, Soul. yeah, that's how it has
Okay.
come. So the idea, what we are building is Soul is basically a personal assistant.
Mm-hmm.
The idea was to build a personal assistant for developers, where the assistant is in Mars, so it's days of working are in Soul, and you are working in. So you get that extra 25 hours. That's the whole
Oh,
conceptual idea of Soul, and the reason why we named. It also has a little bit of more beauty to it. It's also called structure and organized life.
okay.
So you, as you're using your product, so it's kind of sitting in between abbreviation similar to Jarvis to a analogy which happens in
Mhm.
Mars. So we love Mars analogy more.
Okay.
So that's how we started. So it's in right now only beta focused Soul.
Okay.
But yeah, I think as we were building Soul, we figured out, not figured out, there is some core problem which is still missing, and that is to make any personal assistant actually calling it personal. There are few things which are lacking,
Mm-hmm.
and that few things are basically memory. It understanding your preferences, looking at
Mm-hmm.
your patterns, what work you're doing, can be as simple as, let's say, after every meeting you do create linear issues, to as big as, you have been doing a lot of, let's say, entry inputs, and your calorie inputs, and the memory can help you saying you've been having a bad food,
Mm-hmm.
for food focused folks, or be it fitness where you are more focused on your upper part, and you need to probably more focus on all your lower also. So x number of things, it's more of how we can understand what you're doing, how you're doing, your patterns, your
Mm-hmm.
preferences. So that part felt like a missing piece, and that's when we thought, we need to solve that first, because
Okay.
that is more important to call anything a personal assistant, and
Mm-hmm.
that is what we call Core. It's an open
So
source.
it's also context sharing platform.
Yeah, it is also correct.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a single place where you have everything about you, like the user
Okay.
specifically.
Okay.
So that's when we thought we need to create such platform where we actually are making a user's personal identity. I think the difference is right now what you call your personal identities, majorly email. Like in a digital
Yeah.
platform, people, a lot of things would be login with Google. So you click
Yes.
on login with Google, we keep sharing your email and name. So, but I think what we thought, what we are at least envisioning is we want something similar to login with Google, but in the
Mm-hmm.
future, places where you are going and talking with personal assistants, talking to these chat applications. The moment you log in, it basically gets customized to your own way of conversating. It knows right away your preferences, right away your patterns. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the analogy, and we thought I mean, a series of thoughts after that would be, who should have this product, who should own it, what kind of product should this be, and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think answering all of those questions, we thought memory is something which should be owned by the user. It's not something which we should have control on. I think we should be a
Mm-hmm.
platform, an infra layer, and user should control that part a lot. So we thought it should be private, it should be secured, it should be user focused,
Mm-hmm.
and they should control that part. So identity and control became our key things,
Okay.
and we have an open source project from Soul called Core.
Okay.
Core full form is Contextual Observation and Recall Engine. The
Okay.
whole idea is Core basically observes every single thing and it
Okay.
recalls and when it actually is needed. So that's the Core. So it's an open
How
source
does
product.
it observe everything? Like how
Right.
yeah.
So there are few ways which through which it can observe. It's an
Mm-hmm.
MCP focused for all the folks who
Knows about it.
who knows about MCP.
It's
You can connect
multi-control
a
platform. What's the full form?
core
No,
MCP,
MCP.
Model Context Protocol.
Model context. Yeah, yeah. Thanks for that. I
Yeah,
forgot. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I think I can quickly show how the MCP things work.
Yes. add to the screen and
So let's say if I'm a developer, let's say using if I'm using Cursor, so
mm-hmm,
Cursor has this concept called tools and integrations where you can connect your MCP tools.
mm-hmm,
So all I have to do is just go give this single URL,
mm-hmm.
and this URL will ask you to let me quickly show.
So wait, you went into cursor first and then you got from integrations, you got
Yeah, do you have
into
this settings icon? Click on
okay,
settings icon, you go to tools and integrations, and
okay,
then you can just add your custom server here. Now,
okay,
for example, I've added this too. It'll
okay,
ask you to log in. Once you will give access to Cursor,
uh-huh,
it basically comes into this format. So
okay,
it basically has tools like memory ingest, memory search. I'll speak about
okay,
these. I'll come back to these.
uh-huh,
Um, yeah, so the idea is you can now ingest talk from Cursor, also from Claude. Yeah, I was just asking a couple of questions. So, can you search from my memory? I was asking
mm-hmm,
about what PRs I need to review,
mm-hmm,
and then it basically searched from my memory, and it said there are two PRs that I need to review,
mm-hmm,
and it also asked me which repository. It also told me which repositories they belong to, and I should be checking.
mm-hmm,
And I can also ingest that memory from here. So all the tools like Claude, ChatGPT doesn't have MCP; they only have it in their Pro plan. But
okay,
Cursor, Z, Tray, VS
mm-hmm,
Code, any and everything which has MCP is something which we connect with.
okay.
Uh,
So you can
and I think
integrate all the products which has MCP, and
correct.
because you integrate within your platform, there's a contextual layer between them. So you have a one single place where when
Yeah,
you talk with that
this
particular place, everything is connected. Yeah, go ahead.
correct. So this is course login. You have it at core.heysol.ai.
Okay.
And this is a graph, for example, which is formed for me. So
Okay.
I use it from Cursor, Claude a lot. So I can see, for example, I can filter. Let's say I want to know what all apps I use. So
Okay.
I can just filter all the apps. Now, if I just go take a look at this, this is a Soul app. So as I said, Soul is in beta, but a quick
Mm.
glance is this is how it looks. Where
Okay.
I can create my tasks. I can each task has a note. I can also assign this tasks to if there is any. For example, we use Claude also. Inside
Mm-hmm.
this in itself, you can say uh, okay, I think Claude is not connected. But yeah, inside this in itself, you can basically tell Claude to take a look at it. I should
Mm-hmm.
have more than a click. Yeah. So yeah, this for example, I said use Claude Code, and it uses
Okay.
Claude Code. It used Claude Code to basically finish all of
Mm.
this feature and create a PR. And I basically just take a look at that PR. So we
Mm.
we use this as our. It's basically your personal assistant. So you give the tasks, it takes a look at it, does few jobs, and gets
Mm-hmm.
back. So coming back here, so that is one app I'm actually using, and Google is one other. You will
Mm-hmm.
find that. So this is basically I can just quick glance of what all apps in my life I'm actually using,
Mm-hmm.
and every node is having some information. So these are all for app, and similarly I can filter based on my accounts, apps, concepts. These are all
Mm.
the kind of things which got created in my memory. So I
Okay.
can take a look at every single thing.
Okay. With every
And
integration that's been happening and with every chat that you do on the product, there'll be a new
correct.
node forming with a new connection. And that's how your memory is built on. And because I think it takes time to get more personalized. Like for the first node, I don't think it can be a personal assistant because it doesn't have much context. So once
Correct.
you use it a lot, not a lot probably, but once you use it on the go, you'll get more.
Yeah.
Personal suggestions or context, if I'm not wrong.
Right. So I think suggestions also we kind of abstracted it a little. So you
Okay.
can create spaces. Space
Okay.
is something like I can create, let's say, health as a space or
Mm-hmm.
learning as a space. Now I have
Mm-hmm.
core as a space.
Mm-hmm.
So it basically it gives you a summary of what are all facts that are there in this space. So
Okay.
space is defined using a set of a description, or let's call it a rule. So I
Okay.
said
Like a
everything
custom
and
GPT,
anything.
like a custom space.
Yeah, correct. So
Okay.
the idea of space is you get a more scoped facts so
Mm.
that you can share this space with people. So, or
Okay.
space with the agents. Any agent you
Okay.
are interacting, you can say, you have access to core space, or you have
Okay.
access to my health space. Fitness app
Okay.
will have access to health space.
Okay.
So that's the kind of thing. So you write a rule, and now
Okay.
it pulls all your facts into this space. Now,
Mm.
these are all the facts only related to core. So if
Mm.
I go and it says ensure the exclusive criteria for course graph memory. So all of this information this has is all related to core. And I
Code.
can
Okay.
also see all the facts which are part of this, how many
Mm.
times it has got recalled. So now this fact is recalled 6 times. So you
Okay.
can see all of that information here.
Okay.
And yeah, the last part is, since we call it a personal identity, we
Mm-hmm.
also grab the context from tools. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
I've connected GitHub, I've connected Linear.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in my activity, so these are all the episodes which go in. So you can see that a user, so I have a PR which is requested by my co-founder to review.
Okay.
So this also goes into the memory. So it looks at the activity of me in
Mm-hmm.
my integrations or tools I use and remembers those things. PR
Okay.
requested, for example, is broken into multiple such facts, and these facts go into my memory. And the beauty is these facts get invalidated. These are real time. So let's say I liked Nike a week back, and I said
Okay.
no, I don't like it. The fact gets
Mm-hmm.
invalidated. So it knows
Oh,
when
okay.
you like the fact, when you didn't like the fact, at what periods it has changed.
Mm.
So you get
That's
a
a
lot
good
of
one. Okay.
information out of it.
So your co-founder has created a PR review on GitHub, but because these are all
Right.
integrated, it got created here, and you can go and review it over here, and it automatically updates whenever you do the review.
I can't review it here, but I think the whole core is it sits in the background. It observes
Hmm.
everything. So I don't have a view or a UI where I can review. But I
Okay.
think if, let's say, I want Claude to review, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to give. I need not give everything as go this specific URL. I don't
Mm-hmm.
re-explain things now that often in individual tools, since
Okay.
everything is
Yes.
context shared.
Um.
If at the moment it landed in here,
Mm-hmm.
that means it has landed in Cloud also. So I just
Okay.
go say, review 116 PR,
Okay.
and it since it goes through my memory, it knows what that 116 is. It
Mm-hmm.
also can relate more often. Let's say if this update docs or browser extension had more
Mm-hmm.
connected nodes in our memory, we also send that to Claude. So it has more
Okay.
contextual answer of what it needs to review than
Okay.
just saying, this PR is something you need to review.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. This is actually something we can start using right away. But yeah, that's my next question. So you said you are in beta version. So are you looking for pilot users, or do you already
So
have
core
users?
is not in beta, core is
Okay.
in public. So
Okay.
we have launched it a couple of weeks back.
Okay.
It's an open source project. We have a GitHub repo, so
Perfect.
people
Okay.
can either host it on their own, or
Okay.
as I said, we have it at core.heysol.ai. They
Okay.
can just start using it right away.
Okay.
Um, we don't charge anything for ingestion and search. It's
Okay.
The whole idea is we probably become the next Google, not the Google for
Mm.
the search, but Google for the personal identity. So
Okay.
instead of using, I think the whole idea is, if I have to show,
Also,
so
just to
this,
give you a fair, we
yeah,
just have 1 minute. So
okay.
let's, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, share
Yeah,
this and
so
then we can.
the idea is this. You have a
Okay.
button saying login with core. The
Okay.
moment you log in with core, any assistant becomes your personal assistant. It knows
Hmm.
your patterns, preferences, have the context shared.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, in short, that's what I was showing.
Perfect. I'll also post all these links in the chat or in the comments below our LinkedIn Live so users can get started. So you are saying that people can get started with Heysol.ai right now.
Yes, yes,
Perfect.
absolutely.
Perfect. So I know that we are already at time, and we've got couple of questions from users. Probably I'll comment that down or get your inputs and then comment that down in answers. But any other final? We're already out of time. So any other final statement that you want to make, so that users who want to start the product right now, they can get started? Like any other resources, or how can they get started on the product?
I mean, I think the best way is to just do co.heysol.ai and then sign up
Okay.
and start using it.
Okay.
And as long as you connect to integration or you connect to any MCP, your memory starts flowing and
Mm-hmm.
you can create your own spaces and just get benefit out of it. So, I mean, nothing, just go quick, grab it.
Okay, perfect. Is there a community or a space where people can
Yeah, we
come
have
up?
Discord. So, yeah,
Okay,
sorry. Would love you folks join the Discord. I think if you have any questions or anything, happy to always answer there. So, it's a
perfect.
growing community. So, would love to see you folks there.
Perfect. So I'll also share that link in the comments. And do you have the documentation on the website or somewhere else where they can
Yeah,
go?
yeah, we have all the we have docs.asol.ai which speaks about pretty much everything, how the graph is formed, what
Okay,
rules you can use, how you can
okay,
integrate with individual tools. So yeah,
okay.
much
That's good.
detailed. If it's not, happy to take a look at it too.
That's good. That's good to hear. And thanks a lot for sharing your journey. I know that 1 hour is never sufficient because you have got some crazy stories from the right of.
Uh,
So, but yeah, I know that you've shortened your journey a bit, but I would love to have another session with you to go more and talk about the product itself, and how can people like me who can get started and get the benefits out of it. So let's hope plan for that in the future. But thanks a lot for joining in, and hopefully couple of you'll get couple of signups today after this. So good luck with that.
yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot for
And
having
thanks
me.
a lot for everyone who joined in the live. And yeah, please do go follow the links, and join the Discord channel, and share your suggestions and your journey with them. Thanks a lot. See you.
Cool. See you.